upsetting from yesterday. I gave myself a rough day yesterday. I don't even know why. I just don't understand why sometimes I need to do that, but I did, and it was rough. And it's over now, but somebody was asking me yesterday about Luna, and they were having concerns that she people like to talk about truth a lot, and whenever somebody starts talking about truth, then they start talking about half-truth, and this becomes a mechanism by which we scrutinize and judge people who are giving any sort of message, especially on the YouTubes, especially if you're in what you consider to be a truther community. You especially do that. I think we can go overboard with it's still going back to that broad brush, the broad strokes thing. And it's like I've made a few videos on Lauda. I've made I've done 5 shows with her, and I've probably made at least 5 videos simply talking about what she's doing. And every once in a while, and fairly recently this happened, I'll get somebody coming on there who says, Lauda is blah blah blah, and therefore she's a fraud. People will say that. Someone said that recently, and it's not even, to me, when you're judging somebody, it's depending on how precise you are being and how understanding you are being that they are a human being at the same time. Because anytime somebody says something like, they give one sort of really general statement that's subjective to them, and then in the next breath they say, and therefore she's a fraud, or and therefore he's a fraud. I just start laughing, because if that's not cognitive dissonance to the maximum, then I don't know what is, because there's no reasoning abilities in that whatsoever. What you are doing when people do that, when you judge somebody as being it's hard for me to understand that people still do this, but when you camp people up, when you set them on one side of the line or the other, the only thing that you're doing is you're removing that person from yourself as a means through which to experience a more diverse life. And you're also removing from yourself the possibility of that person receiving the same from you, because you've written them off. And it's never like that. It's never that simple. It can be that simple for you subjectively if you want to feel super safe, and we feel really safe when we've judged everybody off into their proper boxes, and they don't bother us anymore. They're not bothering us because of their the reason they're bothering us is because internally they're affecting our worldview. And if we box them up properly, like such and so person is a fraud, then they don't live in here anymore for you. That's all you're doing. You're not doing anything else besides that, and whatever you're judging them on has likely no basis in reality whatsoever. Because really, there's not anybody who's on either side of the line. everybody is multifaceted, and sometimes, you know, you're straddling the line. Sometimes you're feeling like a piece of shit, like I was yesterday, and sometimes, you know, you're doing the good work. But there's not ever that saying that says half truths are like, I don't even know how it goes. That saying is bullshit. It's bullshit. I would say you can judge people on a general trend, like this person is generally serving the overall good of the populace, or you could say this person is generally, you know, out there to serve Yaldabaoth or Satan or whatever, you know, pick your villain. You can see if someone's generally living out of ego, or if they're generally being pure or being open, or not living in the storyline all the time, being more present versus not being more present. You can see that stuff. But to write somebody off, that's a pussy move, actually, to me. That's to say this person is blah 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 because they make me feel insecure. That's like a sissy move. Not only that, but when people do things like this, to me, they just lose all credibility in my eyes. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't know how we got on that from my shitty day yesterday, but somehow that transition happened. I mean, take your child. So you guys have kids, right? Just imagine if you applied that metric to your kid. You know, your kid bit his sister's finger yesterday, and he liked it. Like, after he bit her finger, he's like, "Fuck you." You know, he didn't say sorry. He didn't feel sorry. And if you made him say sorry, then you know he knows he's pretending. You know? Do you write your kid off because of that? Do you simply go and tell the rest of the neighborhood that your child is a budding devil? You know? And you can already see the nubbins starting on his forehead. We do these things for ourselves. We don't do these to warn people. That's ridiculous. We do it because we're insecure inside. That's when we do stuff like that, that's why we do it. Judging other people hurts you more than it hurts them. Anywho, I gotta go work out. Don't feel like a piece of shit today, okay? Try to feel like something other than that. Okay, bye.